finding out in my life that most of the time when the message comes, it's not actually coming from what I would like for it to come to me, you know, in the particular form and presence that I would like for it to come to me in. You know, what I mean about that is a lot of the time, you know, we were taught that when messages came to us, they would come, these beautiful angelic angels with these beautiful wings would show up, and they will come and bring this beautiful golden message to us, and you know, and speak peace and love and tranquility. But that has not happened to me. You know, every time I've gotten a message, it would come into a form of something that really, to me, would mean to the Christian doctrine or probably to the Catholic doctrine and a bad omen. And the only reason I'm concentrating on this particular subject matter is because I'm traumatized by the owl. Because you guys know how crazy I am about owls, and I know my spirit guide is an owl at this present moment. And to see something like this happen to y'all, I just really been channeling this owl real bad. I mean, I really wanted this owl. I've been using my creative consciousness to concentrate on this particular owl, and I have been looking at a statue of a particular owl that I want real bad. The owl is like $135, but I said I would be able to get it some other kind of way without having to pay $135 for it. And then to find out a real live one was circling over the parking lot where we were, and then come back out of the store to find it on, it had a crash landing. Okay, anyway, it's going to take me a moment to get over that one. But anyway, all my messages have come in a way that the Christian doctrine and the Catholic doctrine would say, hey, look, you know, that's a bad omen, you know. But I'm finding that it's not true, because some of the greatest messages have come to me by animals that were called, you know, demonic and evil. I want to tell you one of the first experiences that I've ever had with an animal bringing me a gift, if not a gift, or message. And I'm still learning, and I'm still trying to make meaning of the messages. Matter of fact, I'm looking for a teacher right now, because like with my aunt and everything, you know, she's like back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. The last time, yeah, hello Mario, I was trying to get her to talk to me on camera about some things, and she felt like the vibes weren't right. But anyway, going right on back to the first experience. Y'all know I ramble. I'm going to go back to that first experience. I was about 4 or 5 years old. And like I told you guys, I'm adopted, and my parents, or you know, the ones that raised me from about age 3 up until I was 18. I'm in the very house that I was raised in all my life. When my father passed, I moved back home. So this is the house. This is it. Reconnected with some things. Some bad things happened here, and some good things happened here. So anyway, I want to go back to my first experience. I was 4 years old, and I was always a very sick child. I have sickle cell. I have sickle cells. The doctor said more than likely that it's a trait. But most of my life as a little girl, I've had troubles, you know, with pain and stuff like that in my arms, hand, feet. I was always in the bed all the time. That's the bed that crashed and fell to the floor. That bed's still on the floor, y'all. Anyway, I noticed that a lot of the pains have come back to revisit me now that I'm laying back on that same bed. So like I said, I will be burning that bed up soon. Going back to my first experience, 4 to 5 years old, I was asleep. I was always a child that was very wild. I was a wild child, always screaming in the night, nightmares all the time. You know, always had a very difficult time, frightened very easily. You know, that's me as a child. So my mom and dad would always be getting up because I'd be terrified in the night. I don't know what happened to me. Something happened to me. I don't know, because I was a child, but I remember many nights my mom and my dad getting up, sitting with me. This particular time, when I was 4 or 5 years old, my mom put us to bed between 5 and 6. Well, I have a sister that was adopted too. She was not there yet. My sister was not here yet, so I was sleeping in that bed by myself. But I went yelling and screaming and hollering because lo and behold, there was a huge, big size snake lying on my chest, and it was crushing me and I could not breathe. And I remember yelling and trying to get help. My mom and my dad running in there, and the both of them were just looking at me like they were frightened to death of me. I could see the terror in their eyes. And this thing was coiling, and it was on me. And I remember my father grabbing it and getting it and stuff like that, and that was the end of that. Because, you know, when you remember things in flashes as a kid. Well, anyway, I was told later that that was the gift. I was told that that was the gift. What gift? I have no clue. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Because growing up, I always thought of it as being something evil. This is evil, because that's what they taught me in church. I really wanted to be a good Christian student and learn, and I trusted the church to tell me what was right. And so they told me that it was the devil, it was evil that came to visit, so I believed them. Okay, so that was the first visit that I ever had. That to me was, to this particular day, the gift. I understand that it's the gift, but then I'm a bit confused because they tell me on this end that it was evil. So I set that aside. What gift it brought me? I'm sure it brought me a lot of gifts. I'm a painter, I'm an artist, I create, I sculpt. I'm more than sure that's probably what it brought, but it may have brought more. Okay, I'm gonna start up once again. Okay, I don't have to start up again, still got some time. So that was my first visit. That was my first visit. My second visit was a visit where I woke up in this very liquidy, like mercury type room. And the walls, that they just wave, like waves. The walls were waving. And there were these people that came, and you could only see them from here down. From here down. They wouldn't allow you to see their faces. They had lab coats on, they had gloves on, and their bodies were about the size of kids. I said at this particular time, a lot happened to me when I was in nursing school. I said I was about 27. A lot happened to me right at 27, and things just began to just happen from then on out. But anyway, when I was 27 years old, I woke up in this strange place. And when I woke up, I noticed that something was done here to my head. I had one of the most excruciating pains you could ever imagine coming from my head. And I noticed that there was this female voice that says, you know, calm down, and they called me by a name that does not sound familiar, was not familiar to me at that time. And like I said, they spoke telepathically. They did not speak like where you could hear voices, but the transmissions came through your brain or whatever. And they were telling me that I needed to quiet down, that people have this done all the time, and I'm the only one make the biggest fuss. And it wasn't that big of a deal, and I can sit there and wait till they get finished, and then that they would let me go home. So they did what they did to me, and then I woke up. The excruciating pain was gone. A lot of people call it alien visitation. Some people just say, oh, you just went to a bad place for a moment there, like hell. I've heard a lot of things about that particular moment and everything. So, but I got my explanation for it, and I want to go further into talking about these different situations and that we go through, because I got a feeling that I'm not the only one. I mean, that's what I'm so happy that I can talk to you about it, because maybe you all have had that same experience, you know. But a series of events began to happen to me from that day on. I mean, really from the snake incident as a little girl, but then it intensified, and the intensity just grew from the age 27 on up. Okay, so I'll start up again.